Yo, what's good YouTube? It's Boardzy, and this is going to be a pretty big video as far as announcements are concerned. 2025 is the year of the zebra. I'm going to be announcing not only my X2 Crazylight Boardzy edition collab, but also I finally have a date on the Zebra Artisan Zero, which, if you know, this has been a multi-year process, and we finally reached the finish line. It's looking like September, possibly October. But yeah, the Zebra X2 Crazylight, and yeah, this will be available on August 12th, just over a week out from when I'm posting this video, and there will be 3,000 units of these, which is, it's technically limited, but for just this one size, I feel like that's a lot of units. Pulsar has a number of other collabs running right now, so this isn't going to like sell out instantly, I doubt, unless this design really resonates with a lot of you guys. And yeah, this is not really the same spirit as my first X2 collab, which was a big overhaul really of the X2 at the time with the Huano blue shell pink dot switches. It was Pulsar's first mouse to use those. It was one of their first mice with a nice rubberized coating, even had a different scroll wheel encoder. This is more or less just a paint job. It does of course have general improvements compared to the early batches of the Crazylight, specifically in the clicks. This was something I was adamant on. If you watched any of my reviews with the early Pulsar opticals, I said they just didn't have tactility, like there wasn't a feeling of fullness to the click. And I was thinking, like, what could even change about the Crazylight for a collab? I thought the battery, maybe having a smaller battery, ultimately decided against that. And for the clicks, I originally wanted Huano blue shell pink dots, but Pulsar said it would have taken 6 months to develop a PCB. So I ultimately settled on this newer, improved feeling with the Pulsar opticals, very similar to a good implementation of Omron opticals. They do have the Huano blue shell pink dots in the Zywu mouse. I have a theory that companies have just consistently wanted like lower grams of actuation force on Huanos, especially like with Final Mouse using them, to the point that they don't really have the like crispness, reverberation, like a slightly heavier feeling that they did in older batches. Yeah, the point being, these are using the Pulsar opticals. Feels really good quality-wise. There's not much to note as far as like pre-travel or wobble is concerned. If you really like push in, you can get some post-travel. So yeah, I'm sure people will say I'm biased, but I do think this is a high-quality implementation all around, especially areas where you're going to be putting pressure. Feel very strong and reinforced, considering like the light plastic being used. That's another thing. The weight is 38 grams with full-size skates, like 1 or 2 lighter with dots. Compared to the old Zebra mouse, the weight difference is massive. I mean, there is no medium size, but it's over 20 grams lighter than the medium Zebra version was, well over 15 lighter than the mini. And that's something I was saying, like as the X2 aged, it was starting to feel a bit heavier for its size than other mice. So when the Crazylight released, I was happy about it. Then Pulsar reached out to me, and that is the story of how this beautiful mouse was made. Obviously black and white, you know, it's graceful, it's elegant, it's yin and yang. I mean, what's Pulsar call it on the box? Like sophisticated, sleek. All of the above. But yeah, it's really what this is. It's a sophisticated zebra swirl. Whichever angle you look at the mouse from, you get a different experience, and that's what this is all about, because I can hear the comments like, well, my chopped liver, it's not no zebra design, it's a swirl. It's actually like a gefilte fish. So yeah, we'll concede that the new version does not have traditional zebra stripes in the way the old one did, but nonetheless, a portion of what I make will go to the World Wildlife Foundation, and as a part of the collab, I did get 50 units to give away. I've already given away a few on Twitter. In fact, the first person who comments zebra on this video will get one. So yeah, at $140, $10 more than the non-collab versions of the Crazylight. It's by no means a cheap mouse, and I do wish there was some unique feature beyond just the general like quality tolerance improvements and the unique design. I mean, such as life, this is still one of the best small sub 40 gram mice on the market, specifically if you are okay with like flatter sides. But yeah, I'm not going to pretend that the small mouse market is not insanely saturated with different mice, different price points, different weights. But if you are a fan of the X2 Mini shape just historically, buying this is a good way to support the channel. If you like the design, you just like the mouse in general, I would say go for it. Other features like the scroll wheel, it's just using the Pulsar blue encoder, so nothing really different to expect there. The side buttons are like very crisp, tensioned well. They sound nice. The mouse is just a bit too small for me to consistently claw in a game like Fortnite, so I really do look at it as more of a fingertip mouse. I've just always enjoyed the shape of the X2 Mini. Obviously, this being Crazylight, feels nice as well. No issues with the balancing. A different battery would have only saved like a gram and a half at most, so it just wasn't really worth it in the grand scheme of things. Because these small, light, high polling rate mice are not really known for their battery life to begin with, so by putting in a lighter battery, lowering the battery life, it just really wasn't worth it. And yeah, in the box you get a lot of Zebra seal of approval themed stuff. You also get this card, which in case you're at a LAN event, somebody asks you what mouse you have, you can just show them the card. You also get this translucent dongle. Obviously it's 8K out of the box. This is the XS1, Pulsar's 3950 equivalent. And yeah, obviously not just on my edition of the Crazylight, but I've noticed with recent firmware updates that the XS1 does feel better than it did at launch. Similar to some other firmwares, we've seen the advent of turbo mode, which is not like a feature I'm shilling. If you are obsessed with performance, you can turn it on. It'll come at the expense of battery life. But yeah, I don't think that's what's really making the big difference in this equation. But that's going to be about all for this video, announcing the Zebra Boardzy Edition X2 Crazylight. And yeah, with the Zebra Zero, there's not too much to say except for we are in the final stretch with that one. But yeah, that will certainly be less units than this Crazylight is, so drop on August 12th. If you're planning on getting one, let me know. Any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. But yeah, what a time to be alive for Zebra Gang members. There's a Zebra mouse and a Zebra mouse pad launching in the near future. It really doesn't get better than that. Whether you're a newly minted member, you're high ranking, you are valued nonetheless. Some men see things as they are and say why. Others dream things that never were and say why not. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and peace out.